Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Today, I'm gonna be showing you guys how to make some custom backgrounds for your levels and some effects. So let's get right into the video. So as you can see here, I do have a layout already made. So I'll just play it for you. So it's not really that important. It's just I wanted to better demonstrate exactly how it might look during a level. And as you can see, I don't have any block design. And that's just because I wanted to lay out. But okay, so let's get right into the effects. So the first thing you want to do when you're making any level, and for any effect almost, is just choose a good custom background and ground. Right, and then once you've done that, you want to choose some good colors. So for our purposes, we'll go for a kind of purplish color. Purple, not black purple. It's kind of bright, but I'll deal with it. Let's see which one is. There we go. Okay. So as you can see, we have our colors now. I'm actually gonna make this slightly brighter, just slightly. Okay, that's good. So what we've done here is we've made our colors and everything, and now we're going to go straight into the effect. So the first effect I'm going to be showing you is a kind of spiraling vortex effect. So first thing you're going to do is take your biggest glow and make a long line with it. I don't know why it doesn't continue, but okay. Once you've done that, copy and paste it, and just make this little glow stick kind of thing. Once you've done that, just move this thing up one space. You can move it up two, it doesn't really matter. Just, whatever suits your purposes, so you have this sort of laser beam. Now what I like to do is I like to take the color of the background, and actually I have this color, which is the color of the background, a little brighter. What I like to do is just take the color of the background for your purposes, right? Make it brighter, and put it on blending. And then you have this really bright, nice color. So once you've done this, and actually I'm going to make this slightly smaller, and we can adjust that if I don't like it. So I'm just going to keep this to the side. Yeah, I'll keep it up here. Okay. So now, just in case we need it later, I just want a copy of the object. So what we have here is the glow. Now what you want to do is copy and paste this over here. So we have it 2 times the length. And just start doing this. This is already huge, as you can see. This is why I wasn't sure how long I wanted it. So once you have this, as you can see, we have our little plus sign. Now after that, you want to just use the turn 45 degrees. But once you've done this, because just using the actual turning blocks, they won't do anything. As you can see, it doesn't really do anything because it's already hitting all angles. Just copy and paste it, and you have to use the sort of rotate thing, and just do your best, sort of eyeball it. And once you've done that, go ahead and copy and paste this thing into a new layer. If you don't know how to copy and paste things into a new layer, you go ahead and just hit copy and paste. Then go to edit group and just turn up the layer, which is in the top left corner. I'm going to go ahead and go to that layer. And okay. Once you've done this, as you can see, you have 2 of the exact same object. We're actually just going to tone down this color a lot. Actually. So you can always experiment with colors just because you want proper colors. Okay, and there goes the editor glitch. Okay. So once you've done this, go ahead and give each of these a different group. Give this one group 1, and give this one group 2. Whoops. Okay. Now, as you can see, we have different groups for each of them. And that means that we can individually manipulate them. So on the next layer, on a new layer, you're going to go ahead and take an object, and if you're lucky, well, not okay, just make it and put it in the center, okay? And then give it, actually the color doesn't matter at all, give it a new group. Okay, group 3, and now we're going to go ahead and put some triggers. So, group 3 needs to be invisible. And now we're going to do some rotating triggers. So, what you want the thing to do is the object you put in the center. That is going to be your center group ID, and that is group 3 for me because I gave that object group 3. So the object you put in the center, put that group for center group ID. Now, we have 2 of those spiral thingies, right? Those 2 little big wheels, or like a Ferris wheel, I don't know, whatever you call them. So this is what we're going to do, okay? Target group ID is what you want to turn, okay? And we're rotating both the wheels. So target group ID 1 means we want this to turn the first wheel. Go ahead and copy and paste this trigger and do the same thing for the next wheel. Now the only thing you want to do here is suppose you did degrees, okay? You can do the same thing, okay? I'm using times 360 because degrees is only like 1 rotation. You just want to make the negative number of whatever you just had. Now this way, they're going to spin opposite directions, as you can see. And you're basically done, actually. It's really not that difficult to do this effect. Now we're going to get the entire thing and give it a group. That might make it easier for you. But you want to move this thing sort of, where the player can see it. Give this group 4, and okay. What I'm doing here is I'm making it invisible at the start so we can have it fade out. This is all optional for you. This helps with transitions, right? So it just helps with transitions. Okay. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna put at the beginning. In group 4, we want it to move down, suppose, maybe 7 blocks. Yeah, and then we're also going to have it locked to the player. Oops, did I not do that properly? I did not. Okay. So what I've done here is I have my cogwheel, right? Now I'm going to explain what the triggers do. So, this trigger right here makes the centerpiece invisible. This trigger right here makes the first cogwheel turn. This trigger right here makes the second cogwheel turn the opposite direction. This one makes, so I give the both cogwheels and the centerpiece a group. And I made this invisible at the start. This trigger slowly fades it in to the level. This trigger moves it down so it's more close to the center of the player. If I were to manually move it down, as soon as it passes this grid line part right here, everything would just start squishing together and it looks terrible. And this final trigger right here just makes it lock to the player. We'll start that right here. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to experiment with some colors. I'm thinking we tone down the brightness a lot. As you can see, it's not that good actually to make it insanely bright. That's actually it just takes away from the level, so. Okay, we have our effect. Let's get right into the level. One more thing. We're actually going to do one more thing. Okay, so what I've done here, what I've done here with all the triggers is, okay, this trigger makes the centerpiece invisible. This trigger makes the first cog will turn one direction. This makes it turn the other direction. This makes the entire thing invisible at the start. This makes the entire thing slowly fade in. So as you can see, it's in the cogwheel, the entire structure is invisible at the start of the level. And as you can see, it slowly fades into being, full strength. I've also experimented with the color, so it's not like insanely bright and disgusting. As you can see, I have 3 move triggers here. This is the first one that makes it move down, so it doesn't, just so it's closer to the player. This next one right here, just locks the entire structure to the player. You want to make sure you include the centerpiece with this so it actually rotates on its axis with the player and not rotates around the centerpiece. And so it'll fade out of viewer's camera. Just make sure the centerpiece is part of this group. And this trigger right here, which I added it later, and this just makes it move closer to the player. And so you don't see the edges of it. The final thing we're going to do is take everything and hit select all right here. Don't fade on enter. This is just going to make sure that it doesn't get cut off at the sides of the screen. And actually, you know what? I'll show you a comparison of what it would be like without don't fade on enter. So go ahead and I'm going to play it like this. And as you can see at the sides of the screen, it doesn't look that good. Right? As you can see, it's not as pretty as it could be. But when you turn on don't fade and don't enter, whoops, you'll see it's a lot better because it doesn't break off at the side of the screen. Okay. So as you can see, this is what the effect would look like. Use this in moderation. This is an older kind of effect. I'll be showing you some different effects. And obviously, when you're coming up with custom backgrounds and stuff, you really just want to come up with your own kind of background. Okay. So we're going to come up with another one. And I have another plan for this one. So what we're going to do for this one is we're going to go ahead and go green, a kind of aqua green color. Actually, we'll go blue because blue is a lot better. I'm just better at working with blue. And make sure again you've chosen a good ground and background. So look at the ground really quickly. That's okay. We'll just switch the colors. Okay, as you can see here, I've done all the colors and stuff like that. This next effect is a little bit more interesting, but also it's not as effective, I guess. What I meant by that is it doesn't cover up as much as the screen. So I'm going to go ahead and look through my custom objects. As you can see here, I have this object right here. Now, I will be uploading both these levels because I verified them, so you can see and you can take the objects yourself, right? But you can also copy it and see what it is. But as you can see here, I have this object. And this is I just took the 3D lines, right? This straight line, well not that one, this one. And I kind of just took a while to curve it. And as you can see, it's not that good, so you can make your own, but this was back in the day, and I don't really feel like using this effect too much nowadays. I use different effects. But so yeah, this is the object I used. So go ahead and take this object if you want to make this effect. And what you want to do is copy and paste it and just keep moving it up one block. Okay? Now you don't want to go too far down, right? Because as you can see, okay, if I go too far down, it starts to just stack itself up and squish together because the objects just can't go that far down. So, yes, just don't take it too far down. Now you want to make this. Now this might seem like enough, but you'll be surprised. You have to make this very tall, very tall. For the effect to last, it's depending on how long you want it to last and how fast you want this thing to go, and you'll see what I mean by that later. But this has to be very, very tall. So. Now, as you can see, I still have some room, and we're kind of gonna just squish this to the top. Take this out. Okay, so as you can see, this is extremely tall, almost as high as we can go. We're gonna take this, copy and paste it, and for my case, we're gonna go ahead and take this into a new layer. Okay, so as you can see, you have this object that looks like a cylinder, sort of, right? What you're gonna do is you're gonna give this a group, suppose, what is this, why is this in group 3? Oh, okay, group 1, okay, and we'll give this group 2. Now, this is why the effect is simple, and it looks kind of interesting, but it's actually very simple. All you gotta do is make one of those bars move down, so we can make group 1 move down, suppose, 100, 10 blocks, basically. And make the other move up the exact same amount, but opposite. So we'll make this one of them moves down, one of them moves up. And as you can see, that was really quick, and I forgot to adjust the time. So now you can see, what does it look like? It looks like the object is turning, right? So now we're just going to go ahead and go to this layer and give this all a group, right? And this is just to make it move with the player. Put it over here, suppose. Give it a group, okay? And this is, it's such an easy effect. It's such a simple effect. It's actually, like, insanely simple. We'll just give it a lock to player X. And boom. That's literally your effect. And that's actually so simple, but it's very effective. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and take all this. I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste this. And copy and paste this. As you can see, I have another cylinder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and give these their own layer, their own group. So group 4. And group 5. And what we'll do is you want this, and this is just for my case, you don't have to do this, but I'm just going to make these spin, make it look like it's turning the opposite direction, right? So basically, for example, to make this effect work, where you want two of them spinning in like opposite directions, you want the one on, suppose we want this cylinder to go down, and this cylinder to go up, and this one to go up, and this one to go down. So they're just moving in opposite directions on opposite sides in every way, if that makes sense. And as you can see, it looks like they are spinning in opposite directions. I think it's a decent effect. It's nothing really that special, right? It's nothing that difficult. Anybody can do it, and you can do it too. Both of these effects are really simple. Go ahead and give them a shot. I'm gonna go ahead and again take everything and put it on Don't Fade on Enter. This way it won't break off at the sides. And let's play it. Now, as you can see what I'm talking about when I said that this one isn't as it doesn't work as well with, filling up as much space, but it's a really cool effect, and it's pretty cool for background, sort of, okay? Now, I'm going to upload both of these, and if you don't want to make this object yourself, I'm just going to leave one right here. Okay, you can go ahead and copy, make it a custom object. I'm actually going to use link controls, and if you don't know how to enable link controls, you just go ahead and go into pause it, go ahead and go into settings. And as you're going to see, where is it? Oh, right here. Check enable link controls, and what this does is, suppose you have like this, and this works especially cool for objects like this, right? When you make a custom object from many objects, right? suppose you have this 3 cube, and this is your custom object, right? Suppose you, like, messed up, suppose, right here. Okay, like, you didn't want these two to overlap. Now, if you're, suppose in your head you're treating these 3 cubes as one object, because you can select them all together. Now, if you just want to take out one of those sets of 3 cubes, you have to individually take out all these things and fix it, right? So now, what you can do with link controls is, when you link these things, they act as their one object, so you can delete them all together. Okay, if you just select one, as you can see I don't have swipe on, select one, copy and paste it, and it just makes it feel like it's like one object. So that's what you can do with link controls. So I'm going to go ahead and link this for you. As you can see, it's linked. To unlink it, just hit the unlink one, right? But that's really cool. It's a really cool option that RobNut made. So yeah, I gotta verify this again. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please drop a like, leave a comment if you have any suggestions or questions. I always read all comments, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next video. Hope you have a great day. Bye.